my gambling addict father owed a wealthy man millions. The wealthy man demanded that I marry him to settle the debt. My mother was distraught and told me to run away with my childhood friend and never come back. After begging Nash repeatedly, he finally agreed to take me away. However, on the day we were supposed to leave, he picked up Aisling, the school beauty, instead of me. Aisling's mother needs a major surgery, and her father passed away. She won't be able to make it without my help, he explained. My heart sank, and I remained expressionless. Nash assured me, "Don't worry, once Aisling gets through this, I'll definitely take you with me." My mother was so upset she ended up in the hospital. My father begged me to save him, so I blocked Nash and resolutely married the wealthy man. On my wedding day, Nash searched everywhere for me, but it was too late. 1. In the hospital room, my mother's face was etched with age, and her eyes were filled with tears as she said to me, "Bronwyn, men can never be trusted. There's a few tens of thousands of dollars hidden in the back of the wardrobe. Run away with it. Don't worry about this broken home and that heartless man anymore." "Mom, I've blocked Nash and I'll never contact him again." At that moment, my heart was as cold as ice. When my mother found out that Nash didn't want to take me away, she took me to see him. After all, our two families have been friends since our grandfather's generation, and Nash and I had been betrothed since we were children. My mother thought Nash wouldn't be so heartless as to abandon us in this critical moment. But when we got to Nash's house, we were turned away. Nash was rushing to the hospital to deliver food to Aisling, a sight I had never seen before. Seeing my mother there, he looked at me with disdain. "Bronwyn, are you so eager to get into my house? Aisling is our schoolmate after all, and you two are still best friends. Can't you bear to see her suffer alone? I told you, once her mother's surgery is over and she's settled, I'll take you away from here. Why are you so impatient? I'll buy you a house on N Island in the future, but I can't stay with you there forever. My home is still in H City." My mother spat blood upon hearing his words. I understood that Aisling's father had died early and her single-parent family was struggling. Couldn't she just give her some money to help her out? Why did Nash have to tell me in this way that he didn't want to start a new life with me? We grew up in the same courtyard. Our grandfathers were comrades in arms, so our two families were very close, and we were betrothed even before we were born. When I was young, Nash was my big brother, and he protected me from other kids. When I first started university, Nash became the school hunk, and girls lined up to chase him, but he said he only liked me. He said we would get married after graduation, and that he only wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. My mother also liked him very much, and thought he was a trustworthy person. We were just waiting to graduate and set a good date for our wedding. But later I found out that he had changed. The story of the school hunk and the school beauty is always more touching. When Aisling first appeared in front of us, she looked weak and pitiful. Nash said she looked like me when I was a child. After knowing about her family's difficulties, she became the object of Nash's annual assistance. I would also give some of my saved money to Aisling, thinking of helping her solve some of her financial pressure so that she could graduate smoothly. Once, when I went to the photography club to deliver materials, I found Aisling hugging Nash in revealing clothes. Seeing me appear, Nash was flustered, but Aisling still looked weak. "Bronwyn, my bra clasp came undone. Let brother Nash help me, don't misunderstand." I just said, "There are so many female classmates you don't call. You only call a male for help. You're quite good at this." Nash was furious and argued with me. "We are pure classmates helping each other. Why are you so dirty-minded?" Aisling had tears in her eyes. "It's not Bronwyn's fault. It's just that I didn't think it through." "Bronwyn, I didn't expect you to be such a petty woman. I just helped her, and I will always help her in the future." Before I could say anything, Nash grabbed Aisling's hand and left. Thinking of this, I took off the worthless pair of rings that Nash had given me. Outside my mother's ward, my father knelt and begged me, "Bronwyn, I'll never gamble again. This is the last time. Please save your father." Mason, the wealthy man, threatened my father, saying either give him the money or pay it back. Looking at my mother lying on the hospital bed, I directly blocked all of Nash's contact information. Mom, I've made up my mind. I'm going to marry Mason. 2. A month ago, on my way home, I encountered a man dressed in designer brands being harassed by an old woman at the alleyway. The old woman was notorious in our neighborhood for her scams. Seeing the man stuck and not knowing what to do, I felt conflicted. So I stepped in to help and managed to send the old woman away. Unexpectedly, the man followed me all the way home. When my dad saw the man, he was startled and asked, "Bronwyn, how did you come back with this person?" And the first thing the man said to my dad was, "If you don't have money, can I take your daughter as collateral?" That's when I found out that my dad owed a huge debt, and it was all owed to this wealthy man named Mason. My mom was furious and heartbroken when she found out, because our family really couldn't afford that much money, and she didn't want to see my future ruined by my dad. But we really couldn't find a better solution. So my mom came up with the idea of asking Nash to take me away. My mom said, "No matter how hard or difficult it is, it's your dad's fault, and you shouldn't be implicated for the rest of your life." All I had in my heart was Nash, and of course I hoped to spend the rest of my life with him. Just unexpectedly, when I repeatedly asked Nash to take me away, Nash said, "It's a society ruled by law now. Who dares to use force to get what they want? You want to use this method to make me marry you quickly. Your family's calculations are quite smooth." But he didn't know that Mason only gave our family 1 month. Either pay back the money or give him a person. Now, Nash only cared about taking care of his delicate schoolmate, and he didn't care about my situation at all. Since that's the case, then let me end this childhood engagement. I sent a message to Mason, "Meet tomorrow, engagement banquet." Mason quickly replied with one word, "Okay." 3. I wandered home aimlessly and somehow ended up at the snack street near the school. The small skewer shop that Nash and I loved to come to was our favorite dating spot, bar none. He would often appear in front of me with various little gifts he had prepared. I never thought these things were cheap before. I only thought that the ordinary life with Nash was especially beautiful. But today, I was slapped in the face by him again. 2 familiar figures in the snack shop. One was Nash, the other was Aisling. "Aisling, try this. This shop has been around for many years, and the taste is especially good." Nash looked at Aisling with anticipation. Aisling picked up a skewer and chewed slowly, then savored it and said, "It's really special, Nash brother. The places you choose are always so special. I'll take you to more special places in the future." Nash had said the same thing to me. Now he said it so easily to another woman. My heart felt cold. I was about to leave, but Aisling saw me. "Sister Bronwyn, why are you here too? What a coincidence." Aisling called out to me. When Nash saw me, he got up and came to me with a questioning tone. "Bronwyn, I couldn't find you at your house yesterday. What were you doing?" "Because I was in the hospital too. I was in the hospital taking care of my mom, and he was in the hospital taking care of Aisling's mom." I couldn't help but sneer. "Since we've met, just so you know, our childhood engagement is off." Nash thought I was joking and just stuck to his machismo. "Didn't I say I'd let you go to an island first? Why are you still here? You're so petty and narrow-minded. I'll go see you after Aisling's mother's illness is cured, and I'll help you settle down. Isn't that enough?" The Nash who promised to love only me for the rest of his life is now openly cheating. But he still has the nerve to reprimand me. Nothing has made me see him more clearly than this moment. At this moment, my heart was only filled with disappointment and no longer had any other emotions. "You don't have to worry about me. Someone will help me with my difficulties." I replied to him indifferently. I was about to turn and leave, but Nash grabbed me. Maybe he felt that he had lost face by being rejected by me. Ignoring the public, he scolded me loudly. "Do you think you have the capital to be arrogant with your current situation? Can't you be a little gentler like Aisling? Everything has to be your way to satisfy you." I saw Aisling give me a mocking glance, but she had a white lotus look and said softly to me, "Sister Bronwyn, you should also feel sorry for Brother Nash. He works hard every day and has to take care of both home and family. It's very tiring. Look at Aisling. She knows not to make things difficult for you. Can't you be a little more sensible? You're not the spoiled young miss you used to be." Okay, she's the only one who knows how to pretend. She's the only one who knows how to talk. It's all my fault, isn't it? Then I won't pretend anymore. Since you two are so smitten with each other, you should just get married, I'll bless you. Sister Bronwyn, I didn't mean that. Don't misunderstand me. Aisling continued to pretend to be innocent and explain. I interrupted her directly. It has nothing to do with you. I don't want it anymore. You're being unreasonable. Don't mind her, let's continue eating. Nash sat back at the table. I didn't say anything more, and after walking away for a few steps, I suddenly remembered the gold-plated ring on my hand. I took it off and walked back, placing the ring in front of Nash. What are you trying to do? Nash glared at me angrily, because it was the first gift Nash had ever bought me. I cherished this ring more than anything else, and I couldn't bear to take it off even when I slept. Now I just felt like a joke. I smiled lightly. Nothing. I don't want it anymore. You can give it to your schoolmate. Aisling didn't seem to mind that it was secondhand and put the ring on her finger. Since it's something Brother Nash bought, of course I have to cherish it. I felt sick to my stomach and left without looking back. The next day, I received a message from Mason. I'm waiting for you by S Lake. I was puzzled. Didn't he say he was waiting for me to get engaged? What's the point of going to S Lake? As soon as I went out, I saw a black Ferrari parked at the mouth of the alley. The driver in a neat suit with white gloves and black glasses, looking more formal than me. I obediently got into the car and was taken to S Lake by the driver. As soon as I got out of the car, I didn't see Mason, but I saw Nash and Aisling first. The two of them were leaning against a long bench, and Aisling's face was almost touching Nash's. What they were saying was so mushy that it was unbearable. Aisling said coquettishly, Brother Nash, you're so busy every day, and you still take the time to accompany me. You're really the best person to me in the world. You're still gentler. Bronwyn is not even 1,000th of you. Nash stroked Aisling's hair while talking. If I hadn't already been engaged to Bronwyn, I would marry you right away. Wait for me. I'll settle things with her, and we'll be very happy in the future. Brother Nash, I'm willing to wait as long as you want. I'll be yours from now on. Aisling said so passionately that she even kissed Nash deeply on the tongue. It was so disgusting in broad daylight. I had also come to S Lake with Nash before. In the places where we dated, he always liked to leave some small marks. He also said that he would propose to me here in the future, but now he can't wait to get rid of me and be with another woman. Miss Bronwyn, it's over there on the yacht. The driver shouted at me, afraid that I would get lost. At the same time, it also alarmed the two people sitting on the bench who were being affectionate. When Nash saw me, he questioned me very dissatisfiedly. Bronwyn, can't you just let me go? I ignored him and walked towards the yacht, but Nash stopped me and said, Don't be petty, I brought Aisling here. I've taken you to so many places before. It's nothing if I take Aisling out to relax, right? And you, Bronwyn, I've already bought you a ticket. Can't you just wait at home quietly? I really don't want to talk to him. I don't want to say anything more. Just go back, don't wander around here. He didn't know that I had already solved my financial crisis. No matter how much Nash called me, I didn't turn back. Unreasonable. Hearing him constantly scolding me, I was sure that I was right not to look back. Fortunately, they were a little far from the yacht. Otherwise, I was really afraid he would be embarrassed. As soon as I got on the yacht, a row of drones rose into the air in the center of the lake. Immediately afterwards, those drones transformed into my initials, and then transformed into a ring. Mason appeared in front of me, knelt down on one knee, and took out a ring box. He directly took out the diamond ring the size of a pigeon egg and put it on my ring finger. Although we haven't known each other for a long time, I still have to give you the ceremony you deserve. I had imagined countless times what it would be like to be proposed to, but unexpectedly I never guessed right. 5. Looking into Mason's sincere eyes, I felt a moment of bewilderment. It seemed like he genuinely wanted to marry me, and he wasn't joking. The ring was forcefully placed on my finger, and I couldn't take it off. I nodded stiffly. Mason smiled contentedly and stood up, making the drone display a yeah gesture. It was a declaration of his success and the beginning of my new life. It was fine. In the distance, Aisling was looking at Nash expectantly. pointing at the marriage proposal declaration in the sky with envy. The two of them looked just like me and Nash used to. Mason sent me home, and at the alleyway he said again, "You don't have to worry about the wedding. I'll arrange everything. You just wait to be the bride." Wedding? I hadn't recovered. Yes, wedding in a week. So fast. I can't imagine from engagement to marriage so fast. But I still nodded, watching Mason drive away in the Ferrari. I hadn't walked 2 steps towards home when I was stopped by a figure who suddenly appeared. Nash grabbed my wrist with dissatisfaction and said, "What are you doing? Are you jealous? Or are you going out with a strange man?" "What strange man? Let go of me." I threw him away forcefully, but he wouldn't let me go. Who was that driving the Ferrari? Are you so shameless and unprincipled for money? The Nash in front of me was so unfamiliar. In his eyes, I was such a materialistic person. And he didn't mention at all how he was flirting with his good schoolmate Aisling and having an affair. Our previous relationship now seems so embarrassing. My eyes were cold, and I replied coldly to him, "I did it for the money. What right do you have to say to me? How did you become such a woman? You should learn from Aisling." "Then go find your Aisling." I threw that sentence down, pushed him away forcefully, and walked straight home, no longer entangled with him. 6. A week later, the small alley in front of my house was transformed into a red carpet scene, with a group of bodyguards maintaining order. My wedding dress was custom-made for me by a designer hired by Mason. As I put on the princess-like wedding dress, my mother cried and sent me off. "Good daughter, Mason's family is big, and there are many people and things. You should be cautious in everything, and don't get involved in any trouble." The unreal feeling became concrete at this moment, because my tears also couldn't help but fall. After bidding farewell to my parents, I got into the wedding car. And that day happened to be the day Nash had booked my flight. I heard from my mother that he went to our house looking for me, and asked why I hadn't gone to pick up my ticket and wait for the flight. He also saw the wedding fireworks in the alley, and asked my mother whose family was getting married so grandly. He also said, "After I go to Inn Island, I will marry Bronwyn there." My mother disgustedly told him, "My daughter Bronwyn has already told you that your childhood engagement with her has been cancelled. She is getting married today, and she is marrying the eldest son of the wealthy Mason family." "What? Isn't she waiting for me to marry her? And what about my uncle's debt? Isn't he waiting for my family to help?" "Don't worry about it. My daughter Bronwyn has already taken care of it." My mother wanted to send Nash away, but Nash got angry at my mother. "You are so untrustworthy and unprincipled. How can you joke about your daughter's lifelong affairs?" My mother had already seen through his true colors and looked at him with contempt. She almost spat at him. "Of course we won't joke about my daughter Bronwyn's lifelong affairs. It's definitely better than marrying a heartless man like you who picks flowers and flirts with women. At least my daughter married into a wealthy family, and she can have both money and people. The wealthy family not only cleared our debts, but also gave my daughter a good life." Nash was probably speechless and left. It is said that he was ashen-faced at that time, and he also said that he would go and complain to his family. My mother felt relieved for once, and it was considered as venting my anger for me. When I returned to my parents' home, my mother told me about this matter with gestures, but I no longer felt anything. "Mom, let's forget about the past. I've already thought it through, and Mason is actually pretty good to me now." After hearing what I said, my mother probably knew something from my words, and she asked me, "Did Mason bully you?" I smiled shyly and said, "No, don't look at him as being so rustic. He is actually very polite to me, especially gentlemanly." In fact, I didn't expect that Mason, who had forcibly taken me away, was completely different from what others thought. There was no such thing as the debt-selling plot in the TV series. Instead, he treated me as his bride and was very respectful to me. On the wedding day, his 7 aunts and 8 aunts surrounded me, and they had to make me toast to all the relatives. It was Mason who stood in front of me and helped me drink these ceremonial wines. I don't know why, but every time he appeared, I felt particularly secure. If he had deliberately married me to make things difficult for me, he would definitely not have helped me out like this. 7. Also on the night of the wedding, Mason got drunk. The people who came to make a ruckus in the bridal chamber kept coming in waves. Mason directly blocked me in the new room and said to those who wanted to continue making a fuss, "If you want to make a fuss, just find me. Don't make things difficult for my wife." Wife. This word was the first time for me, and it was said by a man I had only known for a few days. I was actually very nervous. In the end, Mason took out a stack of red envelopes and waved his hand, and those who were making a ruckus left satisfied after receiving the red envelopes. Even I had to admit that money could solve everything. When we were alone, Mason said to me drunkenly, "You thief, you stole my heart and then ignored me. I want you to spend the rest of your life repaying my heart." I didn't understand the nonsensical words, and before I could understand, he said again, "My flower misses you too, and you'll be his mother from now on." Even more nonsensical words. At this time, a stuffed cat came into the bridal chamber, and he called out, "Flower, come and kiss your mother." Then I remembered that I had met Mason before. A year ago, I saved a small injured stuffed animal. I took it to the pet hospital for treatment, and when the injury healed, I didn't have time to take care of it, so I posted a lost cat notice. The owner of the stuffed cat came to find me in 2 days. Mason at that time was even more rustic than he is now, dressed like a hooligan. I was worried that he wouldn't be able to take care of the stuffed animal, so I told him many precautions. I kissed the stuffed animal reluctantly for a long time, and I was still very worried that such a young socialite wouldn't be able to take care of the cat. In the end, when he took the stuffed animal away, I also said, "If you can't take care of it, you can send it back to me." Thinking about it now, it was so embarrassing. The well-dressed Mason in front of me. If he hadn't revealed it himself, I couldn't have connected him with the young hooligan at all. Before I could say anything, he kissed me. And then he said, "Don't tell my family about my previous appearance." It turns out we have this little secret together. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but he hugged me while drunk. "Wife, you'll be my wife from now on, and I want to raise many flowers with you." A person with a childlike personality probably won't be too bad. 8. I can see you're in good spirits. You must be getting used to life at Mason's, my mom said with a smile. I nodded shyly. I was so worried you'd be bullied, now I'm relieved. My mom was about to cry again with excitement. Mason said he'll move you and Dad to a new house when it gets cold and snowy. The new house has heating, it'll be warm. Actually, I hadn't thought about these things, because I didn't know how to repay this debt. But Mason really treated me as his wife. He not only cared about me, but also cared about my parents. My dad felt relieved now and stopped worrying. When I was about to go home after dinner, Nash suddenly appeared at my door. He was as reckless as before, and he grabbed my arm and accused me directly. "Bronwyn, why didn't you tell me you weren't going to N Island? You didn't tell me to pick up the ticket. I even booked a hotel for you. Are you just so fond of wasting my money? Let go of me. How much did it cost in total? I'll transfer it to you right away." I tried to break free from him, but he held me even tighter. "Your mom said you got married to someone else? How could you betray me like that without saying a word? Didn't we say we were going to get married?" His eyes were filled with anger, but it was clearly him who betrayed me first. How could he be so reasonable? Yes, I'm married. No one helped me, so I had to rely on myself. When did I say I wouldn't help you? Haven't I been arranging everything for you? Why are you so unsatisfied? Nash's eyes were bloodshot. I don't know what he was thinking, but he suddenly said, "Bronwyn, I know you didn't marry that man willingly. Let me take you away now." Escape? Nash, is it too late for you to say that now? When I wanted to escape with him, he didn't choose me. Now that I'm a married woman, he regrets it again. I don't know if it's a man's competitive spirit or something else. Anyway, something that's already been soiled can't be as clean as new even if you wipe it. Seeing that I was unmoved, he said again, "I heard you married that wealthy Mason. Their family has those assets because they're involved in shady businesses. You must be very dark-hearted. How can you have a good life in such a family?" "Don't worry about it. I know the man I married. He's definitely better to me than you." I replied to him expressionlessly, "You're my wife, and I'll definitely treat you the best." In the darkness, Mason's figure looked particularly tall under the light. He appeared in front of us. He said to me gently, "I've missed you all day. I can't wait to pick you up." Then he turned and glared at Nash, immediately putting away his gentleness, looking at Nash with murderous intent and said, "Did you get my permission to touch my wife?" 9. With those words, Mason twisted Nash's arm and pulled me into his arms. His sharp eyes suppressed Nash, as if he was about to settle the score right there. Nash continued, "I was just telling the truth." "Then I'm sorry, but you'll have to experience the consequences of your truth." Mason took me away, but his personal driver stayed behind. Soon, I heard a pitiful cry from the alley. I suppose it was Mason's arrangement. I didn't ask any more questions. After all, Mason was standing up for me, so I just pretended not to hear and went home with him. In the next few days, Mason took me to meet his numerous relatives. The relatives of the wealthy family were really numerous. I worriedly asked Mason, "I can't remember all these people. What should I do if I call the wrong person?" He replied to me dotingly, "You don't have to do anything. When you meet them, I will definitely be by your side, and I won't let you feel embarrassed. Why are you so good to me? You don't have the slightest air of a creditor at all." I felt a little embarrassed. He smiled brightly, "Because you're Flower's mother. And also because you are my lover." Although his words were a bit playful, I saw sincerity in his eyes. Everyone said that Mason had a strange personality and didn't like women, but I didn't really see it. How could a man who loves cats so much be a gloomy tyrant? For our honeymoon, he took me to the snowy mountain I've always wanted to visit. We watched the sunrise together on the snowy mountain, and he whispered in my ear, "I must watch the sunrise with my lover in my lifetime. This is the first gift I give you." I truly felt his affection for me. I seemed to be gradually conquered by him. At home, he didn't shy away from the servants' breakfast kisses, coffee kisses, good morning kisses, good night kisses. Even the cook said that I was really blessed in my previous life. A handsome and wealthy man who loves me so much. You couldn't find one even if you searched with a lantern. I stayed at home every day to take care of Flower and its children, waiting for Mason to finish work and come home, and we would pet the cat together. I also found this life very comfortable, until a month later, I attended a business dinner with Mason, and we met Nash and Aisling there. 10. My burgundy haute couture evening gown and Mason's red pattern tie were a couple set. Everyone cast envious glances when they saw us. Only Aisling, with her poor eyesight, blocked my way. She was really like Nash, always questioning me. "Why are you here? Shouldn't you be on an island now?" Aisling seemed to not know that I was already married. But it doesn't matter, it's the same now. Aisling's wish should be simpler than mine, just to marry a rich man. But besides Nash, it seems like there are no other richer men around her. A woman beside her reminded her, "This is the newlywed young mistress of the Mason family. Be polite, don't offend people." The Mason family? Is it the Mason family that just made the headlines yesterday? The person nodded, and Aisling looked at me in disbelief. Then Nash also came to us. He yelled at Aisling regardless of the public occasion. "How do you talk to Bronwyn? Where's your usual gentleness?" Aisling was scolded by him and dared not speak. She could only meekly show Nash the bill she had just paid. Nash looked impatient. "If you spend like this, I'll run out of money sooner or later." A good banquet was suddenly derailed by them, turning into a confrontation meeting. Nash felt that he had lost face, so he pulled a long face and left. Aisling thought it was my fault that Nash had a bad attitude towards her. She simply went to extremes and started arguing with me after being scolded. "Bronwyn, I didn't expect you to be such a woman. After failing to seduce brother Nash, you immediately switched to seducing a wealthy man. I admire you." Aisling, who was usually known for her gentleness, completely lost her composure. I definitely couldn't argue with her in such a situation. After all, I was attending the event with Mason, and I had to maintain face with him. 11. Seeing my indifferent response, Aisling went crazy. Grabbing my sleeve, she said, "It must be you. It must be you. You must have said something to Nash. Now he doesn't want to be with me anymore. And he even despises me. He clearly promised to give me a title." Title: That's funny. Haven't I already given it to you? You're lying, you vixen. You're flirting with men everywhere. She was more than just unreasonable, she was almost crazy. She directly smashed a wine glass and sent it towards my throat. Fortunately, Mason reacted quickly, restrained her, and called the police without a moment's hesitation. After Aisling was taken away, everyone praised Mason. Mason, the eldest son of the Mason family, is so protective of his wife. So handsome. The newlyweds are also heroes saving the beauty. I envy them. Before we could sit down, Nash returned. He must not have gone far, because the first thing he said when he saw me was, "What did you do to Aisling?" After what happened just now, I no longer tolerated him and directly retorted, "Then you should go ask your good friend Aisling what she did." "Bronwyn, can't you just admit that you're jealous of Aisling? Aren't you just marrying into the Mason family out of jealousy, and you deliberately want to embarrass me and Aisling? You cheated on me and you still have the nerve to say that. What do I have to be jealous of? Besides, I love my husband very much. Please don't interfere in our relationship." Hearing me say this, Mason's face turned slightly red. This farce finally ended with Nash being kicked out. After this incident, Nash's reputation in the business world was ruined, and no matter how much he tried to raise investment, he couldn't. I also heard that after Aisling was taken to the police station for testing, she was diagnosed with a personality disorder. It's no wonder that such a person who likes to pretend has a twisted psychology. It seemed like Mason had cast some kind of magic, and those two annoying people never appeared around me again. In winter, we moved my parents into the new house. Mason held Flower in his arms and asked me shyly, "When can we have a real baby to call you Dad?" I smiled mischievously and whispered to him, "Maybe next summer, our dream can come true."